Guys, Nick here, and I know it's been a while since you guys have actually seen me on camera on my channel. So obviously this weekend, for those of you who've been living under a rock and didn't know, DC had their online convention event, DC Fandome, and obviously a lot of stuff came out of it, and unfortunately I wasn't able to react or talk about any of it the day of because I had a lot of stuff going on. And for those of you who listen to the Bitter Geeks podcast, for the same reason, that's why we haven't done an episode yet. And so unfortunately, we're probably not going to be able to do it until probably sometime later this week, like Friday. But anyways, so I'm going to be here and reacting to, not the first time, but reacting to the trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Obviously, I'm already pimped out in my Zack Snyder's Justice League shirt, which I love, by the way. And so obviously, like I just said, I'm not watching this for the first time. I've seen this countless times already, but I did want to have this reaction out there because I wanted to at least have the chance to talk about it, at least like publicly before we do the podcast, and really just be able to get my thoughts out there and talk to you guys a little bit, and just share my excitement because it's fantastic and I can't wait to see it. So I'm sure you guys have been waiting long enough for me to do this thing. So without further ado, here we go. Darkseid looks so great here. And I love the shot from BVS in this new point of view. Hollow Justice, King Atlan's Trident. I think that might have been a Joker card floating in there too. Yeah, the Amazonian arrow. Just seeing all these finally, just so fantastic. See, Zack Snyder gives the women what they want, so I don't know why they cut stuff like that from the theatrical. And then, of course, seeing more Ray Fisher stuff. The black suit, incredible. This looks great. Seeing a more hopeful Wonder Woman that's not forced. Of course, more Ezra as Barry, and finally Kiersey Clemons as Iris. I love that Zack kept her in. Obviously, I don't think he wouldn't, but God, everything here looks great. This shot of Batman, Lois and Martha, Martian Manhunter, I think. Air bubble scene. Mira. God, I can't wait for that flashback sequence. Desaad. Ray looks so good in that scene, acting-wise, and with CGI. Looks so great. So this is such a Watchmen shot right here of Silas. The new design for Steppenwolf looks fantastic, fully rendered like this. The action looks so good. Batman deflecting it. What I assume is Flash going back in time through the Speed Force. The proper farm scene. I love it. This looks so good. I don't care about the way it runs. I think it looks great. Yes. The Justice League. The true Justice League. Looks so good. Seen this a million times, I still get goosebumps.
This guy's probably fought hundreds of thousands of other super beings on the other planets he's destroyed, right? And we have to assume he's won.
I don't care how many demons he's fought and how many hells. He's never fought us. Got us united.
So great. And they all look so good. 2021 can't come here soon enough. It's obviously, this not being my first time seeing it, just being able to point out all the stuff that I maybe didn't catch the first time around watching it. Overall, this is just fantastic. Makes me so emotional. I will say though, at first I wasn't a huge fan of the song choice, only because I associate that song with the sex scene from Watchmen, and obviously with the use and that was very on the nose. But Zack has come out and said that this song meant a lot to his daughter Autumn, who unfortunately passed away, and that's kind of one of the reasons why we are where we are with this movie. But that being said, it was a fantastic trailer, and I know the aspect ratio might be a little jarring for some people. it definitely took me some getting used to, just because like I'm not used to like that, basically like almost like the old school like TV standard square format. Now that I've gotten kind of used to it with Zack releasing all the little teasers and stuff lately, I'm used to it and I think it looks great. Basically, so like more of what he shot, the better. But yeah, we're finally getting the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. This is insane, and I know we've talked about it on the Bitter Geeks podcast a little bit, but seriously, like, this is unprecedented. Like, seriously, I can't imagine that, going back in time to right after Justice League, of course we all had hopes that we would see, fans of Zack's would actually go on to see his cut of Justice League. We had hopes, of course we wanted to see it, and for him to get justice for everything that he went through and that the cast went through, but when, was it May 20th it was? Like, over 3 months ago? None of us saw that coming. Like, for him to have that Man of Steel commentary, to have it end with, the one fan asking, like, so are we getting the Snyder Cut? And then he just pans over to the poster saying, HBO Max 2021. Like, I remember I was actually, with family at the time, and I couldn't fully, like, geek out and, like, react to it like I wanted to, but even then, like, I caught the very end of the commentary because I slept through most of it because Zack had it super early for some reason. And I remember just like my wife, who knows how much I geek out about this sort of stuff, and obviously she thinks I'm a weirdo for it, but she married me anyway, she married this. And of course you can see how happy it made me, and honestly, like, that's my whole thing. Like, at the end of the day, this is for Zack and his family. As much as we want to, the fans helped make this possible. And I'm glad we as fans are able to finally see this the way that Zack intended. I do, again, at the end of the day, this is for him and his family because of what they went through. And I know, of course, there's a ton of people online constantly attacking Zack and calling him a dude bro and all this stuff. Honestly, I'm not going to say anything mean about it right now. I've wasted too much of my energy on those people. We're getting the Snyder Cut. We won. Like, Zack and us as fans, we all won. Like, I don't care what they all have to say anymore. I really don't. Like, we got this cut despite those people. And all those people who cheered when Zack's daughter died and were happy that we were getting Joss Whedon's Justice League. Like, all those people, I don't give a crap what happens to them in their lives. I really don't. Because Zack's getting his cut of Justice League. His family's finally getting justice for everything that happened. And that's the bottom line here. And of course, I'm going to sit here and gush about everything I saw in this trailer and how excited I am for the movie. But again, at the end of the day, this is for Zack. This is for his family. This is for Autumn Snyder. I can't express enough how happy I am that we're finally seeing this. Like, and again, I'm mostly just happy for Zack and his family. And just, I know Zack's never going to watch this, but Zack, if you ever do watch this, just know that, we as fans are always going to be here to support you. You deserve this, after everything. And I really cannot wait to see this movie. I know we're going to talk about it more on the podcast, but I know you guys are curious to see what I thought about certain things. Obviously, the big takeaways, Superman stuff and the Cyborg stuff. Because obviously, Ray Fisher's come out, with everything going on with, Joss Whedon and him basically outing Joss Whedon for being an abusive jerk on set, to say the least. And Jeff Johns enabling that abuse, and John Berg. And finally seeing, the work that he put into the movie. And I know he was going to do a fantastic job because everything considered with what he was able to what he had to do in the theatrical cut, I knew he was going to knock it out of the park performance-wise. And he looks great in all of the scenes, and it's just, to have a character like that's entire arc cut out of a movie, it sucks. And now we're finally going to get it. All the scenes look fantastic. The scene of him in the graveyard, the way he's reacting to Silas's death, and the way he just carries himself in the role of Cyborg, I think is just fantastic. And also, Ray is such a nice guy. He's honestly one of the nicest celebrities I've ever seen. And I have had, like, the lucky chance of having a brief interaction with him at Comic-Con the year they were promoting Justice League 2017. Like I said, hey to Ray, and he waved back to me, so that's as long as the conversation was. And of course, I said hi to Ezra too, and they waved back at me too, and he said hi. Well, he said hi too from a distance, so that was pretty cool. But that aside, I am just so beyond happy that all this footage is as great as it is. Not that I ever doubted Zack, but just all the cyborg stuff. The farm scene where we get Martha and Amy, and without her crappy wig from Justice League, or the theatrical version anyway, with Henry, no CGI mouth. The black suit looks fantastic. The group shot of the six. The black, when Superman's about to, punch Steppenwolf, it just, all that stuff looks great. Seeing Ben is back as Batman, and of course, like, now that we know he's coming back as Batman in the Flash movie. And I know I made a video with me and Al and Rebecca for the podcast a couple days ago, reacting to the news as it dropped. But again, just reiterating those thoughts, it's insane. We're getting the Snyder Cut, and Ben Affleck's coming back, even if it's just for the one role, or the one-time role of being in the Flash movie. I'm just so beyond excited for these movies now. Like, the only thing I don't care for is the Suicide Squad. I'm not gonna spend more time on that, because if any of you guys have listened to the DC Films podcast or the Bitter Geeks podcast, you guys know I hate James Gunn, and I absolutely do not want to watch the Suicide Squad. Nothing about the stuff from this weekend impressed me. The family makes me more worried. I'm not gonna change my stance on that. Not gonna say anything more. So, but back to Justice League, it all looks fantastic. Like, from seeing Ezra's right, seeing Kirstie Clemens, Darkseid, Desaad, Steppenwolf, they all look fantastic. And you're seeing more of the Nightmare stuff. It all looks fantastic, and I know I've been rambling here for a bit. It's just being so emotional about something like this, it's hard for me to express, like, coherent thoughts, and, being on camera by myself like this, because it's been a bit. The last time I did something like this was when I reacted to the Birds of Prey trailer almost a year ago, because everything else since then has been the handful of episodes of the podcast we've done, and, being back here to react to the trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League, it's just, I honestly didn't think we would ever be here, and now we are, and I can't wait to gush about it with everyone on the podcast. Yeah, I am just so beyond excited. Obviously, you guys saw my reaction again, and you hear me gushing about it now. I'm wearing, I'm wearing the Zack Snyder Justice League shirt. Like, I can't express enough how happy I am for the movie, for Zack, for his family, for us as the fans, the good fans, not the toxic ones, the ones who fought hard for this, for Zack, for the cast. This was all great. It looks fantastic. I can't wait to talk about it more. If you guys do like this video, do give me a thumbs up to let me know that you guys like this content. Comment down below. I really want to know what you guys thought of this. I want to be able to talk with you guys more, because I know it's been a bit. And if you guys do want to hear us talk about it, like I have mentioned several times, I do a podcast on here called the Bitter Geeks Podcast with some friends of mine. We used to be the DC Films Podcast, but then as the podcast went on, we realized we didn't always talk about DC films and would ramble on about random things. And now we have a Bitter Geeks Podcast where it's still pretty much DCEU centric, but of course we go into other things, other tangents. And like I said, we are going to be probably doing a podcast for everything that happens this weekend with Fandome, mainly the Snyder Cut, probably this Friday. It might be up that night, it might not, it might be up like Saturday morning, but definitely keep an eye out on the channel for that. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. I'm definitely back on this channel more often. I know than the last year. I've taken a bit of a break on it. That's because I had my daughter born a little over a year and a half ago, and now I have a little more time to be able to do this kind of stuff. So yeah, I promise there'll be more stuff on the channel for you guys who subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, give me a like, a thumbs up, letting me know that you guys like what you saw here. Comment down below, keep the conversation going down there. I really want to know what you guys thought. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for me. So until next time, guys, have a good one.